It's super okay to have a job, rent the expensive gears rather than really aiming to get one for yourself. To be professional. One thing I hate are those that are not organized. Skyrocket your growth as a professional in the film industry if you have separate myself from it. It's just the mentally healthy way to do so. Hey guys, good morning. We're in Nueva Ecija, and behind us is the beautiful Pantabangan Lake. Just had a quick meditation and been wanting to share a vlog like this with this certain topic, and I guess right now is not a good opportunity. Very noisy. Wait, transfer. Then yeah, Pantabangan Lake. So as I was talking, next year I'll be turning 10 years of becoming a full-time video creator, filmmaker. I can finally say, now that I've had enough experience to share something about my journey. So this vlog is about the things and the message and the tips I would say to my younger self as an aspiring filmmaker back then. Hi, so before anything else, I just really want to emphasize that this video is for beginner filmmakers. 1 or 2 years in the video creation industry. Hopefully, this will save you a lot of tears. Also, you might realize that the industry may not be for you. So, my hugot moment is because when I started filmmaking 9 years ago, full-time filmmaking, no one really told me about anything. So, literally no idea about the filmmaking industry, how tough life is. I have no connections. I have no relatives in the industry. I have super duper minimal background. I was a graduate of psychology, and this was not, I only wanted to do this like way already in my 20s. I only know how to edit. I don't even know how to shoot. I was using Sony Vegas before. And yeah, so after 9 years, as of today, as of December 2021, these are the lessons that I really value more. Hopefully this will, like I said, will save you a lot of tears, will save you a lot of heartaches, and will also really set you on a good direction in the filmmaking industry. If you want to do it full time, as a freelancer, as a content creator, or someone who wants to work in TV, so like me. Yes, and hopefully these tips and messages would be of value to you. So enjoy. I guess the first tip would be, it's super okay to have a job. I had met quite a lot of young people recently who were having a really dilemma on job versus going full-time as a filmmaker. And why not both? World is tough, life is hard. When I started, I had several jobs. I had gigs, layout of photo books for wedding. I was earning like 2,000 per layout, and it really takes a lot of time to do one. It helped me survive and helped pay the bills. Yeah. It doesn't have to be aligned to filmmaking or to the arts. As long as it feeds you, pays the bills, then go for it and do art on a sideline. For the first half of my filmmaking life, I was so engrossed in getting my own gear. I'm sure most can relate. So I was really wanting to get my own set of cameras, cinema lenses. And that was my super goal, But it's so ironic because in our industry in the Philippines, especially where I'm coming from in Cebu, it's really a steep, especially with the rates and on video production. So world is tough, life is hard. I later on shifted my mind. However, I learned it's much more practical and much more heartbreak less heartbreak if you just rent the expensive gears rather than really aiming to get one for yourself. So it's so weird, but in Cebu, which works for my client, there's this. I gave two versions of my coat. One where there's a basic camera package, and where there's a cinema camera package. And I actually have a clip where you can see the difference. And most of the time, they'd always get the cinema package. It's like 20, 30, 20-ish% more. And so don't really stress yourself out on acquiring gear. Of course, it's okay to have your own DSLRs or mirrorless. If you have the budget, go for it. But if you're aiming to get a, Ursas and F7s and Red, so rent. Next, so this is very random, and I want to share it as early as now. It's about your health. I know a lot of filmmakers who are so unhealthy. I know a lot of us along the way who got unnecessary expenses because of health. World is tough, life is hard. And me, for example, 2020, before the pandemic, I had cholecystectomy. So anyway, I got my gallbladder removed, and that's 250,000 worth of savings, cash, gone in like a few days. So because I had so bad habits when I was starting, not sleeping, editing live, editors would know that I can't really say that you go super healthy just because of the structure of what we do as a filmmaker, the time and the deadlines. But the big message I'd give to myself would be, back then, is to get these insurances. There are health insurance that are pretty much affordable. There's like just a few years we've started to get this annual insurance of, so per year you pay 4, and then there's some coverage of 50k for medical expenses, and that's that's super enough. So being a filmmaker, health, please consider that as early as possible. Please consider that. Another big major tip siguro I'd share myself is to consistently remind myself to stop watching YouTube videos and start creating more, shooting more. It's just you get just so much stuck with learning that you forget the executing part. I mean, that was my struggle for a long time. It's helpful, but it's really more helpful if you go out there and shoot, or you get a mentor, have a friend, or you have a creator, filmmaker team where you learn together. It's much faster. Experience is really faster. You make mistakes, it's much faster in growing as a filmmaker. So less YouTube videos and more shooting, more experience. Okay, before the next one, please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and like, and share the love. But let me just continue with the tips for aspiring filmmakers. I guess one very crucial and very important is to be professional. If you would know, look at what we do. I mean, we don't really look professional with all the attires and business and the corporate fields. So people tend to see that our job is just chill and all that. But for aspiring filmmakers, please be professional with just the way you handle everything, being on time for the shoots. And one thing I really hate are those that are not organized, meaning especially when we go like this, out of town shoots, they're not organized in a way na we have to wait for them, like they're late and we have to wait for them. That's a big no-no. Or they wake up late. I've known a lot of grips and gaffers who are so professional, like they're the ones who wake up first, and when we leave, they're already there, already packed up. Those are just a few examples of being professional, with organizing yourself and being extra one step forward with everybody. So please be professional. That gets you a lot of jobs. Hey, wow, ganda. Ayan, let me continue with our tip series. So we just came from another location. It's like 1 a.m. 1 p.m. It's very hot. So Another, yan, ako lang pala mag-isa. So another tip is it's very important for you to have your own group, to have your own core group, have your own team. You could either be the lead or you could just be a member, as long as you have a team, a filmmaker team, a filmmaker group of friends you can call with, you can partner. And it's really great if you have it with your own, you have your own roles. You could be the production designer, and then you have a team members of camera, you have a director, you have a screenwriter. So it's really important to have a core group that you could call on when you have a problem, that you could call on when you have concerns, so you grow together as a team. And I'm really lucky, like I have my friends from film school, so we are this strong team. So we work as a team together, and sometimes we work individually, but it's super helpful for growth. It's super helpful for proper feedback, so you could really skyrocket your growth as a professional in the film industry if you have a core group. Init kayo. So one more tip, and this is something I'm proud to get, I'm proud to realize as early as before. Other than focusing on building your skills, please also focus on building your stamina for shooting. I've met a lot of PAs, a lot of newbies in the game who, like, after a day or two, they'd start complaining that they're tired, that they're sleepy. Or they won't complain, but you could see that they're not fit for, they'd start saying how hard and how difficult with all the inconveniences are. But hey, please really focus on developing your resistance, your stamina. This is filmmaking is a long game, especially with shootings. You're not in the office, you're not in a cold room. So it's all fast-paced and a lot of physical activity. So if you complain a lot, this is not for you. Okay, focus on the strength. Focus on the stamina. Ta-da! Yeah. So we're here in a coffee shop in Pantabangan. It's maganda siya. So while waiting for coffees, let me share lang another tip, and that's something that I always repeat to myself every now and then, and that is, you are not your work, you are not your output, you are not the project. I always remind myself, especially if things go south, or especially if things go very good, I always remind myself na I am not it doesn't, if my work is not me. Medyo difficult siya to understand, but let me explain lang. So before, when I do a very terrible job with a project, I get hurt, or I sulk, or I get disappointed, or I get frustrated, and then soon of course things happen, and then you grow, you become mature. I learned that one very important thing is you don't connect yourself as the project. So right now, if things go south, that's not me, that's a separate identity, that's a separate thing. So it's not me. But even if it does good, even if the episode, or even if the project does really good, I still separate myself from it. It's just the mentally healthy way to do so. It's difficult to explain, but soon as you move on and you progress with your career in filmmaking, it's a good that's a really good reminder. You are more than your project, you are more than your movie, you're more than your video, you're more than your job. And yeah, so that's it. Those are the advice to newbie filmmakers. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. Do you still want to continue with the journey? Hopefully that will save you so much heartaches, and save you like health, and gears, will save you money. Same results, but more savings. It's important because, what did I say? Life is hard. No, world is tough, life is hard. Yes. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. I hope if you learned something, if you want to talk about something, just put it in the comments below. If you want to ask more details about the industry in the Philippines, write it here. Write it there in the details. And if you're a Bisaya and a filmmaker, I made some tutorials before. Better watch it. Check it out. And yeah, thank you so much. See you on the next videos.